Hello everybody, hello, welcome back to the channel where it is time for my Matchweek 28 predictions for the 2019-2020 Ladbrokes Premiership season. Well, we've only got 5 game weeks now until the splits. It's come around really quickly, especially with obviously games being this weekend, and obviously we have the Scottish Cup next weekend as well, and then obviously there's another midweek game fixtures as well, so lots to get through. So let's have a quick look at how I did last week. Now, Matchweek 27. So, Hearts 2. I went for a 2-2 draw between Hearts and Hamilton. It finished 2-2. So, that was a good start. Motherwell against St Mirren. I went for a 2-1 win to Motherwell. This game was postponed because of a waterlogged pitch. Now, this game will be played next Tuesday, I do believe, which will be the 25th of February. So that looks like it's going to be played this week. So I've included that game in Matchweek 28. So we'll see what happens. Rangers Livingston, that was another one that fell foul to the weather, but it was again rescheduled for the Sunday. Rangers, I went for a 2-1 win to Rangers. It finished 1-0 to Rangers. So, shows how well Livingston actually played at Ibrox. Ross County St Johnstone went for a 1-1 draw. They finished 1-1. So another perfect score for that one. Aberdeen Celtic went for a 3-0 win to Celtic. I thought Celtic would run away with that game, but 2-1 in the end in that game. So good win for Celtic, and a very good win. Aberdeen played very well in that game. And then we've got Kilmarnock Hibs. I went for a 1-1 draw between Kilmarnock and Hibernian. It finished 2-1 to Hibernian. So a lot of good games coming up for sure. So Matchweek 28 kicks off this evening. Is St Mirren against Hearts. That is a huge game. That is I think it's currently 10th against 12th at the moment, so that's a big game. And then your Saturday games, we have Aberdeen against Ross County. We have a Lanarkshire derby between Hamilton and Motherwell. We have 6th against 5th at Easter Road as Hibernian take on Livingston. And then the 2 Sunday games, because obviously of the Europa League, we have St Johnstone against Rangers and Celtic against Celtic against Kilmarnock. And then obviously we have Motherwell St Mirren, which will be Tuesday, the 25th of February. So that is something else to look forward to. So the first game to preview is St Mirren against Hearts. A big game, this one. This is live on BT Sport this evening. So a big game, this one. St Mirren, the last 5 between the sides have resulted in 2 wins to Hearts, 1 win to St Mirren and 2 draws. And the last result was a 0-0 draw between St Mirren and Hearts. St Mirren, obviously they didn't have a game against Motherwell in the league, but my goodness me, the game that they played against Motherwell in the Scottish Cup, I mean, to go 4-1 up at half-time, that was a very good performance. But, Jim Goodwin will be kicking himself, having let a 3-goal lead slip to then go 4-4 and then obviously be taken to penalties. But St Mirren dug in at the end, and it was a very good win for them, obviously going through 3-2 on penalties in the end. But it was a very good win for St Mirren. And then we'll play Aberdeen now as well, but obviously we will come to Aberdeen very shortly as well. So it was a very good win for St Mirren, and now they're in the quarterfinals. So 1 game away from obviously Hampden Park as well. So that's something to look forward to for sure. Hearts, now obviously Craig Halkett has said this is like a World Cup final, this game. Hearts were 2-0 down to Hamilton last weekend, and my goodness me, they were so poor, really poor in that game. And it is one of those things you have to say that I think for them to be 2-0 down, obviously they did take the red card to Jamie Hamilton, which has now been rescinded because it wasn't a deliberate red card. So obviously I took that to get them going. But yeah, I got the early goal in the second half, and then Craig Halkett again. How many times is he going to save Hearts this season? He was top scorer for Livingston in the 2017-2018 season. He was top scorer for Livingston in the 2018-2019 season. He's now top scorer for Hearts in the 2019-2020 season as well. So, and I think he's been really, really unlucky with I think Suter, since he's come back from his injury, I just don't think he's been the same player. And I think Halkett is much better with a very good defender with him. I think that's the one thing you can say. No discredit to Halkett, and I'll always give him credit because obviously he's an ex-Livingston player. So, he's been very, very good in a very, very poor Hearts team. So it's a very, very interesting game. So how do I see this one going? It's a really hard one to predict, but I just think with St Mirren winning at Motherwell the other night, I just think this might be the game that they could take confidence in. Wouldn't be too surprised if Hearts managed to get a draw or even an away win. Very, very hard one to predict, but I'm going to go for St Mirren 2, Hearts 0. I just have a feeling St Mirren will want to claw themselves away from that relegation battle. A win here would do very, very well. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to St Mirren here. Aberdeen against Ross County is the next game, and the last 5 between the sides have resulted in 5 wins to Aberdeen. Aberdeen like playing Ross County, certainly. And the last result was a 3-0 win to Aberdeen. Aberdeen, obviously, they were involved in an absolute thriller against Kilmarnock. 1-0 down, 1-1. They went 2-1 ahead, then 2-2. Obviously, 2-2, and then obviously Kilmarnock go 3-2 ahead, and then it was 3-3, and then it was 4-3. It was a very, very topsy-turvy affair, but fantastic for them to get through, and 4-3 winners in the end against Aberdeen, against Kilmarnock, which is very, very good. And to be fair, against Celtic, they were actually very, very good against Celtic. Really unlucky to come away with no points in that game, because, in all honesty, they were probably the better side against Celtic. Ash Taylor, very, very good finish from him. To be honest, they defended well for times. Obviously, the first goal for Celtic, it is poor defending. Griffiths goes past McKenna like he's no there, and then obviously McGregor scores. It's poor defending for the second goal. It's a good finish from Ayer, but that's another thing you can say about Aberdeen, is that defensively they're not the best, but it's a very, very good thing to say that they did push Celtic all the way for that game, and they were unlucky. They were very unlucky to lose out in that one. Ross County, they're coming off the back of a 1-1 draw with St Johnstone, and Billy Mackay again saves them. It was a very, very good finish from him. Laidlaw in goal was very, very good as well. Obviously, they lost Cole Donaldson to a facial injury as well, so I don't know if he's going to be. Don't know if he's going to be back fit for this game, but to be honest with you, I think Ross County were happy where they are. 8th place, it could be better, but they are doing very, very well. And I think 9th, I should say. They're doing pretty good as at the moment. But I can only really see an Aberdeen win, and I think Aberdeen could take confidence from the fact that they beat Kilmarnock 4-3, and I'm going to go for them to get a couple of goals here. Actually, I've gone for a wee bit of a hammering. I think Ross County don't really travel very well, and going to places like Aberdeen, Celtic, Rangers, they do seem to struggle. So I'm going to go for Aberdeen 4, Ross County 0. So we'll see what happens for this one, but I'm going 4-0 to Aberdeen in this one. Hamilton against Motherwell. We've got a Lanarkshire derby now, and the last 5 between the sides have resulted in 1 win to Hamilton, 1 draw, and 3 wins to Motherwell. And in fact, the last game was a 3-1 win to Motherwell at the BSC Stadium. I can't remember what it's actually called. But obviously, Hamilton actually won the last fixture between the sides at Fir Park by 2-1. Hamilton, what can we say? 2-0 up against Hearts. Yes, obviously Hamilton got sent off for a let's be honest. It was a very, very interesting red card. Yes, he is deemed the last man, but it does come off his chest and then onto his arm, so it's not deliberate. It is not deliberate. Accidental more than anything. But yeah, for them to lose a 2-goal lead, it's the story of their season, really. They do seem to go into leads and then they seem to lose them. And quite honestly, it's not a bad result. It's not a bad result. And they'll fancy their chances against Motherwell, because Hamilton are actually playing okay, and they're not losing many games, but they are drawing so many games, and they'll want to get away from that relegation zone. Motherwell's form has just gone absolutely pear-shaped recently. I think it's no wins in 5 now, which is really worrying for a Motherwell side who usually travel very, very well, and usually do well at Fir Park. But yeah, it's they were involved in a bit of a topsy-turvy game against St Mirren, obviously 4-1 down, and then obviously 4-4 they take it. But you can tell how much they missed Declan Gallagher that night. Really, really poor defensively for all the goals, really. So it's one of those things that you'd have to say that they definitely need him back in the back line for sure. So for this game, I'm going for a wee shock here. I think Hamilton will build on from the confidence that they took from the Hearts game, and I'm going to go for them to get a very narrow win, going for Hamilton 2, Motherwell 1. That could be a surprise, but I'm going for a 2-1 win to Hamilton here. Now, 6th against 5th, this one. Hibernian against Livingston. And the last 5 between the sides have resulted in 2 wins to Livingston, 2 draws and 1 win to Hibernian. The last result was a 2-2 draw between the sides at Easter Road. But obviously Livingston won the last game just before the end of the year by 2-0. Hibernian, a very good away win against Kilmarnock. Greg Docherty, absolute pile driver into the top corner, and to be honest, Hibs played really, really well. And obviously Adam Jackson again. How many goals is he? I think that's 3 in 3 games. I think it is. He's been absolutely fantastic recently for Hibernian. So it was a very, very good win, and it's going to be very interesting to see how well they do, because they're coming up against the Livingston side, who, let's be honest, played really well at Ibrox. Really, really unlucky not to get anything from the game. Obviously, Lyndon Dykes hit the post. Big shout out to Ryan Schofield. I thought it was absolutely sensational in the Livingston goal. Obviously, he does concede from Scott Arfield, but 3, 4, maybe 5 top-class saves. I mean, there was one from Halliday where he basically tips it onto the bar and it goes away for a corner. It was an absolutely fantastic save from Ryan Schofield. But the thing is, I think Robbie McCrory will definitely be back in for this game. Obviously, Livingston have bolstered their ranks with the signing of Effie Ambrose. So he's in the squad to face his former club. I don't think he'll start, because I don't think he's match fit. He hasn't played much football. I think he was at Derby the last time. So free agent, it's a very good signing for Livingston, and he's an experienced defender. He does have a mistake in him, but every defender has a mistake in them. So it's one of those things you can say, but it's a very good signing for Livingston. It's a very experienced signing for Livingston as well. So looking forward to this game. I'll be at this game tomorrow. Really looking forward to it. But I can't really separate them. I really cannot separate them. I think we'll see goals in this game. I think both sides are playing really, really, really well. Livingston deservedly in the top 6 at the moment. Hibernian just a point behind them. Draw wouldn't be a bad result for either team, to be honest. And I am actually going to go for a draw. I'm going to go for Desmond. Hibs 2, Livingston 2 in this game. I just feel it's going to be a 2-2 draw again in this game. So we move on to the Sunday games, and we move on to St Johnstone against Rangers. The last 5 between the sides have resulted in 4 wins to Rangers and 1 draw. The last result was a 4-0 win to Rangers at McDermott Park. St Johnstone getting a really good point away from home against Ross County. Yes, they conceded in the 89th minute, but the thing is, Stevie May's now scoring again, which is good. They definitely need to get him scoring again. And he's doing all right. I think it's 5 in 8 games now, which is very, very good. So St Johnstone are absolutely fine. In 8th place, when you consider the start that they had, it's been a very good turnaround for St Johnstone, and it's going to be very interesting to see how well they do against the Rangers side, who absolutely unbelievable comeback against Braga last night. Absolutely unbelievable. 2-0 down. Up steps Hadji. Hadji was very, very good. And then obviously Aribo scores one of the goals of the tournament. I think he went past about 4, 5 or 6 players. to basically put the ball in the back of the net. Absolutely fantastic goal. And then Hadji scores a deflected free kick. But we'll give him the benefit of the doubt because of a fantastic free kick from him. And Rangers won 3-2. So against Livingston, obviously it was a very, very good win for them. Arfield scoring the winner against Livingston. But yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing with Rangers, is not playing very well, but still managing to get the results. And for the first 65 minutes last night, they weren't great, but it's a good win. Good win for Rangers for sure. So going into this game, I think it'll be a very narrow game. I think it'll be a narrow victory for the Rangers here. I just think that St Johnstone will push them hard. I think St Johnstone are a better team that played Rangers earlier in the season at McDermott Park. So I think St Johnstone will get a goal, but I think Rangers will be too strong. St Johnstone 1, Rangers 2 in this game. Celtic against Kilmarnock now. The last 5 between the sides have resulted in 5 wins to Celtic. And the last result was a 3-1 win to Celtic. Now, Celtic are coming off the back of a 1-1 draw with Copenhagen in the game last night. Good for them to take lead. Obviously, Edouard scoring for Celtic. Very, very good from him. But it's a bit of a... It's disappointing to lose a goal. To be honest, going away from home, they've got the away goal, so Copenhagen will have to score at Celtic Park, and Fraser Forster saved the penalty as well. Against Aberdeen, Celtic were probably very, very poor in that game, but still managed to get the result, and that's a testament to Neil Lennon's side, who they're doing really, really, really well, Celtic, and 10 points clear. It's looking good. Kilmarnock, obviously they're coming off the back of a 2-1 defeat to Hibernian, and obviously they were involved in a very good game against Aberdeen. Obviously losing 4-3 in the end, which will be disappointing, but Kilmarnock can focus on trying to push Hibernian and Livingston for top 6 for sure, but don't see them getting anything from Celtic Park this weekend. I think Celtic will win this one. Going to go for a repeat scoreline of the last fixture. Celtic 3, Kilmarnock 1 for me. I think it will be a very good game. We're going for Celtic 3, Kilmarnock 1. And as I promised, the last game to predict is Motherwell against St Mirren. This takes place on, I think, the 25th of February. Could even be the 26th of February. We shall see. The last 5 between the sides have resulted in 3 wins to Motherwell, 1 draw and 1 win to St Mirren. Obviously, we know about the last result, 4-4 in the Scottish Cup. But obviously, there was a 2-0 win to Motherwell in the last game as well. So, both of these sides have obviously met again, and yeah, it'll be a much different game. I think Gallagher will be back for Motherwell for sure. So I think it'll be a very, very interesting game. St Mirren, obviously, they're sitting 10th at the moment, so it'll be interesting to see. But if they beat Hearts, then they claw themselves away from that relegation zone. So I'm going to go for a repeat scoreline that I predicted last week in last week's predictions. I'm going to go for Motherwell 2, St Mirren 1. So we'll see what happens, but that will do for that. So Motherwell 2, St Mirren 1. So that is it. That is my match week 28 predictions for the 2019-2020 Ladbrokes Premiership season. I'll go for my predictions really quickly again. It's St Mirren 2, Hearts 0, Aberdeen 4, Ross County 0, Hamilton 2, Motherwell 1, Hibernian 2, Livingston 2, St Johnstone 1, Rangers 2, Celtic 3, Kilmarnock 1, and Motherwell 2, St Mirren 0. So that is it. Scottish Cup is back next weekend, so there won't be a video until the next game, midweek. So more midweek games to look forward to. Yeah, so we're only 5 game weeks away from the split. Some very, very important games coming up, and shall be very, very interesting indeed. And obviously, live games, obviously, St Mirren Hearts, that's tonight, live on BT Sport. I think they're all on BT Sport actually this weekend. And St Johnstone Rangers, that's also on BT, or is it on Sky actually? I can't remember. I actually can't remember off the top of my head. But so be interesting games for sure. But thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for the continued support as well. And also, like I've said, if you're new here, then please hit that subscribe button and hit that notifications bell for every upload that I do as well. Smash a like on this video, leave a comment, leave your predictions as well. and enjoy the football. I will be at Hibernian Livingston. Really looking forward to that game. Should be a very, very good game. Hopefully the weather's a lot better. Don't want any more storms, do we? Yeah, not very nice, is it? But thank you very much for watching. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care. Bye bye for now.